Hey, y'all ready?
No.
Well, it's time.
Use the restroom. No.
Yep. Okay, so yesterday we talked about, we got to number 5, right? So on number 5, we were talking about how to cut it in half. And some of you had some real good ideas, but you weren't quite where you needed to be. Okay? So to cut it in half, we're going to set up our compass to where it goes at least more than halfway. It doesn't have to go the whole way, but it has to go at least more than halfway along that. Okay? And we're going to, they actually put this one like in the worst possible place because you need paper down below it. And we don't have paper down below it. So you need to stick a little piece of paper down there that it's not going to move around on you. You got to hold it still. Okay? So we're going to take our compass, make it at least more than halfway, and put our compass end down here. And we're going to make an arc up above it, and we're going to make an arc down below it. This is why you need that paper. Okay? This is number 5. Then without moving the compass, we're not going to move the compass. We're going to switch it to the other side and do the exact same thing. So we're going to make an arc over here, making sure it crosses the arc we already made. And we're going to make, I let mine move. And then we're going to make an arc down here, making sure it crosses the arc we already made. We're looking for the point where those two arcs cross each other. Because the point where those two arcs cross each other is right dead center of that line segment. So if we line up this right here and we make a mark right there, that's the center of our line segment. And if we made a long mark, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this. You don't have to make a long mark, but if we made a long mark right here, if we made a long mark like that, that's actually at 90 degrees. So what would that be called? If we cut this in half, here to here, these are equal, and it's at 90 degrees. What is this little line right here called? Oh, it looks like one, right? But that's not what I'm going for. What's something called that cuts things in half? Bisector. And what if it does it at 90 degrees? It's a perpendicular bisector. Oh, I'm sorry, Geronimo. I forgot. I gathered one up for Rebecca and forgot to give one to you. Shoot! Yeah. Yeah, because my Algebra 2 kids yesterday asked me about it, so which is not our actual new calendar, it is just a example. Yeah. You're welcome. Okay, now we're not done with this. We're not done with this because it asks us to create construct a line segment that's half as long. We just had to find where the center was, right? And we didn't actually have to make that perpendicular bisector. We just needed to know where the center was so that we can now measure that out, right? Now that we can measure it out, then we just go make that segment like we did yesterday. So we're going to draw us a line. Oops, I let my protractor move. We're going to draw us a line. And at one end, we're going to line our compass up. We're going to make a little arc. That's the right length because we measured it out. And so this right here, not this part, but this right here is our line segment that is half as long as this one over here. Does that make sense? Okay. So knowing what we just did, is this page crooked or is it me? Oh, it's just that line that's crooked. I was like, I think I'm losing my mind. Knowing what we just did, look at number 9 there. Actually, let's back up. I forgot to flip over to the back. Go back to the other page and let's look at the back. My bad. I'm sorry. Okay, we're going to skip number 6 and come back to it, but let's look at number 7. Construct the perpendicular bisector of the given segment. Okay, perpendicular bisector of it. That's what we just did just a minute ago. So we already know how to do this one. So remember, you're going to set your compass to where it's more than halfway to the other side. You're going to make an arc above and an arc below. And then without moving your compass, you're going to switch it to the other endpoint. And you're going to do an arc above and an arc below, making sure they cross each other. And when you connect the two places where they cross, I've got to put my glasses on. I cannot see. When you connect the two places where they cross, that made a perpendicular bisector. This right here is a perpendicular bisector. It's cutting that segment in half, and it's doing it at a 90-degree angle.
Yes, bro. I am. I can make straight line.
You need some help, bud?
I can't.
Okay.
Wait, that's why. So you guess with your eye what you think the middle is?
Yeah, just guess with your eye more than the middle. Like, I always go like maybe 3/4 of the way or 2/3. I just make sure it's more than the middle. So if you do less than the middle, this is what's going to happen if you do less than the middle. Let me fix this board. If you do less than the middle and you make your arc and you make your arc and then you switch sides, look what happens. Do y'all see? They don't cross each other. You have to go more than the middle so that they cross each other. Okay? Also, I want to show you this. Just because you may see this somewhere. So let's say we've got this segment right here. And we're wanting to make the perpendicular bisector. Some places will show you just to make a full arc here. And then turn this way. And make a full arc this way. And you can totally do that if you want to. I personally just prefer to make the little arc and the little arc so that it doesn't muddy up everything. So I just have the top where it's crossing and the bottom where it's crossing. But you can do a full-size arc and a full-size arc. Y'all see what I'm saying? Okay? Huh? Well, that's why we got to fix them if they're not working. Yeah, you want to fix it. So, if it's not saved, so whenever you make your mark, like you have this right here,
The ones that do it.
I want to do an ultrasound tech.
Ultrasound tech? Oh, it's because I can't do it.
yeah, drop this thing off.
Like, I know, like,
I want to do that or like girls are. What's the art?
Okay.
what's the one that deals with like when there's just one?
You need some help, buddy?
Would you stop?
Like big fat, big ones, they watch.
No,
I can do it.
Okay, that next one, number 8. Look at that next one, number 8. If you haven't finished number 7, that's okay. You can finish it up. But the people who are done, I want them to be able to move on. It says locate the midpoint. How are we going to do that?
I swear, we have to have the formulas.
Nope, we're just doing constructions right now, so no formulas. How are we going to locate the midpoint based on things we already know how to do?
Find the middle,
Find the middle.
and then you have the middle.
So, if you find the middle, you have the midpoint, right? Have we done something, maybe in the last couple of minutes, that would help us find the middle of that line? That's what we just did, right? What we just did will help you find the middle of the line. You don't have to draw the bisection. You just have to know, you just have to line something up so you see where the middle's at.
So what do you want to do?
Wait, this is our last week, right? There's no break. Right? Let's do the break there. No. This week, next. No. Why is this right? This man is cooking. Yeah.
So we can do
What?
No. You know how even the lesser it's like he's gonna be a video. He's gonna be reading books for you. How do you think she's gonna go? I feel like I'm good, dog. No, I just you know what you do right now? You know what you do on a diet at the age of that's my guess. Here's diet by age like 40? 60. I'll probably be like 30. He's dying at 40.
How old do you want to be? How old do you want to be?
Exactly.
Okay. So,
If I'm a nurse and I have 4 babies already, I'll wait until I'm like 38.
so if you look at 8, right? So we're just going to make our compass more than halfway, do an arc above, an arc below, turn it and go the other way with it, do an arc above, an arc below. I made my arc below the first time too short, so I'm going to have to go back and fix that. So I didn't make it long enough. Because if they got to cross, if they don't cross, you can't see where they're going. I'm going to lay my straight edge down there. But I'm not going to draw the line I'm just going to mark where the center is. That center is my midpoint. I don't need a line here. I just need to know where the point in the middle is. Right? Y'all following? Okay. Now, we're going to back up here to this top part. Because this one's a little more complicated. Okay? So we're going to back up to the top part, and I'm going to show you how to do this. This one's a little tougher. Alright, so far it's been pretty simple, but this one's going to be a little harder. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to draw just a random line out away from that. Okay? We're just going to draw a random line. Doesn't matter where the line is or where it comes from or where it goes. You're just drawing a random line. Alright? Now, you're going to set your compass just at any drew. Okay? And we're going to, because we want to divide this into 3 equal parts, we're going to make 3 arcs. So we're going to start at our end down here, and we're going to make an arc, and then we're going to move our compass up, and we're going to make an arc, and we're going to move our compass up, and we're going to make an arc, and my line was not long enough, so, or my arcs were too long, one of the two. Okay? Yeah, so you're making 3 sections. Alright, now what we effectively did was break up this thing into 3 equal pieces, right? That's what we just did. Now, this is not our segment that we want. It's just a segment we created because we're going to use these locations that are equal distances apart to make a line on this that's equal distances apart also. Okay? But what we need to do for that to happen, what we need to do is we have to make another location for them to cross. And I actually should have made those arcs bigger. Hang on. Let's backtrack. Let's make that arc bigger. Make that arc a little bigger. Make that arc a little bigger.
No.
I'm about to get so bad this
Okay, so our next step on this one is we're going to go ahead and make a segment that goes from our last arc over here, our very last arc, to the end of our line. Okay, so we're going to match up our very last arc to the end of our line and draw that segment. Okay, effectively we just create a little triangle there.
Oh my god.
Holy crap.
Wait, what?
All we did was take a line from our very last arc and connect it to the end of our segment that we're trying to cut in half. I told you this one's a little harder. Y'all got to really pay attention. Okay? It's a lot more into it than what we did before.
That is what I did. I drew the line with the
Okay, now what we want to happen is we're going to draw a line from here over to here, but it's got, they have to be essentially parallel to this line we drew right there. So to make that happen, we need the same angle measurement all the way around. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take our compass. I'm struggling a little bit.
Oh, we do the same thing.
Yeah, so you're just connecting this. You're just connecting this. All you did. All we did right here is connect these. Okay?
Does the thing got to be set to like where it's equal to like where you're spaced them out? Right?
The compass that we're about to do, what we're about to do right now?
Like, does this have to meet up with that point right there?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. So, I gotta think for a second. I just lost it. Okay, so we're gonna make an arc that goes from this side all the way to this side. Just like that. Now, our only purpose for that, the only reason that we're doing that right there is to mark both sides of these an equal distance away. Okay? We're just trying to mark both sides an equal distance away. And I may have made that a little big, but we're going to make it work. All right? And then we are going to take our compass and put a point here, an arc here. See where I have my compass set at where it's meeting? And then the same thing right here.
What the crap?
Okay? Hey, let's do this for a second. Don't try to follow along for a minute. Just look up here so you see what I'm doing. Okay? Just look up here so you can see what I'm doing. And then we'll take a minute and you'll do it. All right? Because I think when you're looking up and looking down and looking up and looking down, you're missing stuff. Okay? So, here's where we're at. We went to our end point where these two segments that we made end and we drew an arc. Now we're using the points where that arc crosses these two sides to make this arc right here. So we put our compass right there. We put our compass right there and we made a little arc. Then we put our compass right there and we made a little arc. And see what happens is they cross each other and we have a point where they cross each other. Y'all see what I'm saying? So we are now able to draw a line from this point through that little arc crossing right there. And it's going to land right there. That is not right. Yeah, it's going to be right. It'll be close enough. Okay, so we're going to do the exact same thing again, but we're going to do it over here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make this arc somewhere up here, somewhere in here. We're going to make an arc that goes from that side. I am really struggling with drawing this arc right now. From that side all the way over here, like this. See this arc we're making? Okay. And then we're going to, now remember, I want you just looking for right this minute. Just look for a minute. Don't be trying to do, just look. Okay. Then we're going to take this right here, this point at the end of this arc, draw a little arc. At the end of this point, I'm going to have to make it bigger. Draw a little arc. At the end over here, draw a little arc. I just need to see where they cross. All right, y'all with me? Now, when I draw my connecting line from here to here, I may have just broke this up into 4 equal parts instead of 3. I did. I broke it up into 4 equal parts instead of 3 equal parts. We're going to do it one more time. We're going to do it one more time and have another point right here. We broke this one up into 4 equal parts instead of 3 equal parts. We should have 2 arcs, not 3 arcs. 2 sections, not 3 sections. Y'all see what I'm saying? So we drew 1, 2, 3 arcs, and effectively that's putting 3 points on this. And putting 3 points on this breaks it up into 4 pieces. Do y'all see what I mean? Does that make sense? We should have had 2 arcs over here, and that would have broke it up into 3 equal sections instead of 2 equal sections. But we would do the exact same thing as what we're doing now. We would just do it less times. So in our next one, we're going to make another arc that goes from this one I got to make it a little bigger. From this one all the way over to here, right? And then we're going to use that to make another arc off of both sides. I hate when I don't make my arcs long enough. Drives me crazy. So then we would line this up with this and this, just like this, and that would get us this point over here. And there we have our 1, 2, 3, 4 equal sections. A lot of user error in this one because I couldn't hold my compass still. After being over there saying, Satan, this is how you do it. This is how you hold it. And I could not hold mine still to save my life. So that's my bad. A lot of user error. I'm not going to ask you to do this. Not going to ask you to do this. Okay? But I am going to ask you to do a different one. Is the bell about to ring?
Yeah.
No, it's, oh yeah, 32.
Okay, let's go ahead and stop. Put your stuff up. Don't lose your worksheets. We'll pick it up tomorrow.
We're taking turns.